Hello Beatle friends and hello to everybody else watching. Today I'm going to discuss the 50th anniversary reissue of the Beatles White Album, which was just released this past Friday, November 9th. I'm going to talk about my feelings of the content of the reissue. I'm going to talk about the 2018 Giles Martin remix, the Easter demos, and the outtakes. I'm also going to talk briefly about the Blu-ray disc. I haven't played through all of the Blu-ray content, but I have played it, and I will talk about my feelings with some of the content on the Blu-ray disc. So hope you enjoy this White Album 50th anniversary reissue discussion. This is more of a talk, discussion about the White Album reissue more than just a review to me. So anyway, hope you enjoy this. And before I talk about the content on this reissue, let me show you the Super CD set one more time. I'm loving this set. Nice plastic slipcase. Still kept the shrink and the hype sticker there. And this is my number one more time. I didn't mention the number in my previous update video. I only showed the number, but I'll review it. It's 00033321. Now what's funny about that serial number, when you add 3321 all together, you get the number 9, which is a funny coincidence. But yeah, I'm happy with the number, so 3321. But really love this set. If you want to see more from this set, I will have the link to my previous White Album update video showing this set and the vinyl box set, where you can see the book here. I do go through the book and the CDs, show you the CDs, so watch that if you haven't seen it yet. And here's the 4LP box set I got on November 8th. I got both of these on November 8th, the day before the actual release date. This one just has the White Album remix and the Easter demos. This is a 4LP set. Now, I do want to clarify that the photos that I talked about that I thought were the photos from the Abbey Road album sessions, I have done close research of the photos, and they really are from the White Album sessions, the Linda McCartney photos. I do love those photos, by the way, so I have no problems with those. So, all right. Now to talk about the content. I'm going to start off with the 2018 remix by Giles Martin. When I first heard the remix, when I put on the vinyl record after I received these items in the mail on Thursday, my initial reaction to the Giles Martin remix, it was initially mixed. It was from mixed to positive. It was somewhere in the mostly in the positive, because I've been enjoying the remix. But some of the remixes are good, are better than the original mix, but some are not that better than the original stereo mix. What I've noticed with the remix, what I really like about a lot of the remix is that on certain tracks like Dear Prudence, the vocals are way up front. Like, when I heard the remix of Dear Prudence on the stereo system when I was playing the vinyl record, as soon as John started singing, it was like way up front. I was like, whoa, John is way up front on Dear Prudence. That's what I love right there, because it wasn't too up front on the original mix, but it was up front, but not as much as the remix, I should say. So, but Dear Prudence is one of my favorite moments, and I do like the remix of some of the, and another example of vocals being bought up is remix of the song Sexy Sadie, which is on LP 2. If you listen closely to the backing vocals with your headphones during the song, they are up front. When they sing the last lyrics before the end of the song, in the back, the backing vocals are up. The clarity of the backing vocals on that song is really good. Sexy Sadie is another one of my favorite remixes, I should say. What else? There's just so many, and I'll talk about some of the, I like a lot of the remixes. I like the Back in the USSR remix. I like Dear Prudence. I like the Glass Onion remix. Oba Di Oba Da. Little problem with that. The remix is really good on Oba Di Oba Da. The problem I have, like most other people who's heard this remix, is that the claps at the beginning of Oba Di Oba Da, they're 5 claps. They go da 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 before the band starts playing. During the piano intro, the claps are 5 instead of 6 like on the original stereo mix. Because I'm just so, I have those 6 claps ingrained in my brain. The years I've been hearing, I've listened to Oba Di Oba Da. It's just when I don't hear the claps, it's on the mono mix. But the 5 claps don't do much for me on this remix. But other than that, the remix does get better. So, Wild Honey Pie. I think this remix is even more annoying than the original stereo mix. Call Me Crazy, I do prefer this song in mono because the acoustic guitar sounds don't annoy me that much like on the stereo mix. So, but the Wild Honey Pie remix it's interesting. I'm not going to go through every song here. I'm gonna go through a bunch here. I like the Happiness is a Warm Gun remix. What I've noticed with Happiness is a Warm Gun, when John sings "Oh Yeah," when the band starts kicking in, the clarity of the band when they come in, it's real good. It's way up. On the original mix, you don't hear them just yet. So they do start a little early on this remix, but other than that, it's a great remix. And side 2 of the album, for the most part, I don't hear much difference on songs. I mean, the songs Blackbird and Piggies, they have the sound effects are a little different, but the Piggies sound effects are kind of low. They're not, and they're kind of low, and they're different a little bit to me. But what else? And I also want to bring up "I'm So Tired." The clarity of the remix on "I'm So Tired," it is I do love it, and Paul's backing vocals are up front, I've noticed, just like on the original mono mix. Some of these songs do sound like they're the original mono mix. It's just they're separate. The one I want to mention that sounds like the mono mix is "Good Night." Good Night, the remix of "Good Night," to me, it's a stereo version of the mono mix because of how it begins. On the stereo mix, it's a little different. You hear just a little piano playing, but on this remix and on the mono mix, the orchestra begins. You don't hear just the piano like on the original stereo mix. So Good Night's an interesting one. I do want to bring some ones that I'm a little bit disappointed with, and that's "While My Guitar Gently Weeps." Now, I do understand that that this is one of the toughest songs for Giles Martin to remix. He did mention that the song is driven by George's voice. And I do have to agree with that. But the ending of it, where he has George doing the moans at the end during the guitar solo, during Eric Clapton's guitar solo, I think the balance isn't that great on that. The balance goes more this side than this side. Because I wanted to hear the guitar solo. I can hear I can clearly, on the original stereo mix, I could clearly hear the moans, but I wanted to hear the solo in the last portion. That's one of the low points of the remix right there, is the end of the While My Guitar Gently Weeps remix. So we're going over to disc 2. I like the Year Blues remix, the birthday remix. There's some things missing in the birthday remix, in my opinion, but it's still really nice. But Year Blues is a great remix, and I wanna talk about another low point, Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter. It is one of my favorite songs on this album. And when I hear the original stereo mix, both the stereo mix and the mono mix, both the 1968 remixes, the guitars, the distorted guitars in the beginning are way up front, in your face, as well as Paul screaming, Paul's opening vocals. But on this remix, I notice the distorted guitars on one channel and the vocals on the other. I didn't enjoy that as much. And there are bits near the end of Helter Skelter where it doesn't, it's just kind of, there's some, I just don't feel much with the, I don't feel much power with the portion, the last portion of this new remix of Helter Skelter, just like on the original. And also what, another low point is when the song finishes, you hear Ringo scream, "I got blisters on my fingers," but it's very low. It does sound like Ringo is screaming from either upstairs or in another room instead of right there next to you, like on the original stereo mix. So this remix of Helter Skelter, it's not, it doesn't hold up to the original, in my opinion. So that's another low point. Long is nice. Nice remix. Like the Revolution 1 remix. The clarity on that is great. Honey Pie is a good one. And Savoy Truffle, during the first portion of Savoy Truffle, I thought I was listening to the 1968 stereo mix, and then when it got to the chorus, I feel some differences in the remix of Savoy Truffle. So it was a good remix of Savoy Truffle. Cry Baby Cries are a great remix. Revolution 9, I should say, I don't hear that. I don't hear a difference at all on Revolution 9. It's the same Revolution 9 in stereo that I've been listening to for years, and even the mono mix is not even different. So, and then I talked about Goodnight sounding like the original mono mix, in my opinion. So, all right, that's the 2018 Giles Martin remix. I want to talk about the Esher demos, which were recorded in May of 1968 after their trip to India. This was recorded at George Harrison's house. This is usually referred to as the Esher Kinfons demos. Now, this is a brilliant addition to this 50th anniversary. After Sgt. Pepper was released last year for its 50th, I've been wondering about a White Album reissue this year, after the success of that Sgt. Pepper reissue. And I was like, if they're going to do the White Album, they have to have the Esher demos, and I'm glad all of them are here. All 27 tracks from the Esher demos are on this. So The Yeah, it is better. This is better than the bootlegs, I should say. But the thing is, I wouldn't want to throw away the bootlegs. I would still keep them. But the thing is, this will be my go-to if I want to hear the Esher demos. Because there's some things I noticed that are different from the bootlegs. Like, Circles is different, and Circles is different from the ones on the bootleg. But Circles on here, the George's vocals are up front. But on the bootleg, they're like way down. And Sour Milk Sea, the song that George wrote for Jackie Lomax, that was this is different from the ones on the bootleg, because there's some harmonies I don't hear during the chorus on the bootleg. On this one, I hear the harmonies from George, which is a nice addition. But a lot of my favorites on here. I do like the Happiness is a Warm Gun one, even though it wasn't finished. It just has the I Need a Fix bit and the Mother Superior Jump the Gun bit. I like hearing that as the way it is. I like the version of I do the Back in the USSR one is great, and I like the Dear Prudence one. I think the Dear Prudence one is one of my favorite Esher demos for some reason. Another, overall I enjoy the Esher demos. I enjoy all of them. So all right, what should I, some and my other favorites too. My favorites are actually the ones that they attempted during the when they were recording these demos. The ones that ended up on Abbey Road, and the one song which ended up on McCartney's first album, which is the song Junk. I actually enjoy those tracks a lot. And I should mention some favorites. I did mention Dear Prudence is one of my favorite Esher demos. Julia is another one of my favorite Esher demos. I'm So Tired's really good. I like What's the New Mary Jane, and Not Guilty is really nice. Not Guilty sounds more like the one that ended up on the George Harrison album in 1979. Even though when the Beatles attempted it, it was more heavier. So, all right, that's the Esher demos. Love the Esher demos. Glad they're on this set. And now we go on to the outtakes. I'm not going to go through all of the tracks. I'm just going to go through some of my favorites. But I will say I do enjoy hearing all the outtakes. The only thing that I really haven't been paying attention to was the 12-minute version of Helter Skelter, which is first version take 2. It's just it's too long. I have not even heard all 12 minutes of that version, so that's also one of the low points. But an interesting addition, but it's one of the low points. So I'm happy with all of the sessions. The sessions are more interesting. The outtakes. Some of my favorites are Revolution 1 take 18. Which is the 10-minute version, but you don't get the overdubs that was on Take 20. Take 20 was the one that surfaced on the internet about almost 10 years ago. That one has the overdubs, but this one doesn't have the overdubs. So, what other ones are my favorite? I like Take 3 of Oba Di Oba Da. This one I have to mention. Goodnight Take 10 with a guitar part from Take 5. This is where John plays the finger picking like on Dear Prudence and Julia, and then you have the other Beatles harmonizing the lyrics "Goodnight, Sleep Tight." I thought it was very touching, very beautiful. I enjoyed that very much. And my other favorites, I like the While My Guitar Gently Weeps acoustic version, but this is a different take of the one that's on the anthology, the actual take that we're so used to hearing on Anthology 3 and on the Love album. I was hoping they were going to have that particular take on here, but with the code ending where George says, "Let's hear that back" at the end. But this one, it's a different take. I also like hearing take one of Hey Jude. It's an interesting first take. And then you go into the jam that they did during the Hey Jude session, which I've heard on bootlegs. St. Louis Blues, which is I Hate to See the Evening Sun Go Down jam that you hear on bootlegs. And then there's there's a lot of the songs on here which are just instrumental versions of songs. Like Savoy Truffle, that's the instrumental version of the master take. But of all the instrumental versions of the songs on here, my favorite is actually Birthday, because it's Birthday Take 2 instrumental backing track. This one is a different take from the one that was used for the album, the master take. It's an interesting listen. So that's like one of the only instrumental backing tracks I enjoy. I enjoy the most. But all these instrumental takes, the instrumental only tracks, they're interesting additions. I don't have that big of a problem with them. I just don't enjoy them as much as the alternate takes with the different vocal takes. But they're a nice addition, like I said. But the Birthday instrumental take is my favorite because it's different. So what else should I talk about? We got Dear Prudence with just vocal, guitar, and drums. It's the same take, but doesn't have the overdubs. And then you got an interesting addition here, which is Let It Be, the unnumbered rehearsal. Let It Be wasn't quite finished yet. It wasn't ready to be, they didn't start recording it until like a few months later in 1969. While My Guitar Gently Weeps third version, take 27, I like that outtake a lot. Even though it breaks down at the end, it's a wonderful addition. I like hearing a different take with a different guitar solo by Eric Clapton on it. I feel in this take that Eric Clapton wasn't Beatlesizing his guitar solo like on the album version. And then you got the You're So Square, Baby I Don't Care jam, which is clearly from the Helter Skelter session, which is coming up here. Nice little jam. Then it goes into Helter Skelter second version, take 17. I like that version. Like that version very much. Paul's having fun on it. I can clearly hear only 3 instruments on it: guitar, bass, and drums. On the guitar on one channel, but yeah, Paul's having so much fun on it, and it's a nice outtake, which is different from the master. It almost sounds like the master or the music track. It's just that Paul's having a lot of fun on this one. So, all right. What else? I want to mention I'm So Tired. I think I'm So Tired, take 14. This is the one where you hear a guitar track played by George after John sings a line of a verse. Because as most of you know, George liked to do this guitar echoing thing when a singer sings a line. Like on Real Love, the Beatles song Real Love, when John sings one line on the demo, George does the da 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 da. He likes doing the guitar echoey thing after a singer sings a line of a verse. Now, George was going to do that for Hey Jude, and thank God Paul declined. Paul declined. George's idea of Paul singing Hey Jude, da 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 da, don't make it bad, da 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 da. Hey Jude would have sounded worse had George done his guitar echoey thing. But on this one, you get to hear George's guitar echo thing, which is nice, but it's mixed down. It's actually mixed down, but on the bootlegs, there's an overdub of it, which is just that guitar, guitar played by George and organ overdub. But I didn't think that one was used for the album track, for the master, the master version of the song, which and eventually would appear on the album. And you don't hear George's guitar on the "I'm So Tired" album version. But this one is nice, and it does have some nice things I haven't heard, like the harmonizing and some additional guitar overdubs. But they play over George's guitar echoing thing. So yeah, "I'm So Tired" is nice. I like the Julia 2 there's 2 rehearsals of Julia. It's interesting. The Lady Madonna ones are kind of useless. The back and vocals one from take 3, that was on bootlegs, because I recognized it. They were just goofing around before doing their back end vocals. But the Inner Light, it's another instrumental back end track. Across the Universe take 6, it's nice. It's nice to hear a different take of Across the Universe. This is different from the one that's on the anthology 2, which is take 2. So it's a nice close-in track there. All right, now that's all the outtakes. Overall I enjoy all the outtakes, even the ones I don't enjoy much. It's very cool to have the outtakes here. It's 3 CDs of outtakes. Compared to the 2 CDs of outtakes for Sgt. Pepper. But the reason it's 3 CDs because they recorded more songs. Oh, one more thing I want to mention. I do like the outtake of "Not Guilty." It's clearly the version that I've heard on bootlegs, but it's remixed and it doesn't fade out like on the bootleg. So "Not Guilty" is a nice addition. So, all right. That's all the talk about the outtakes. I enjoy the outtakes overall, like very much. I love this whole set in general. So, all right, I'm going to talk about the Blu-ray. I have played the Blu-ray disc a little bit. I haven't played through all of it. Now, when you play the Blu-ray disc, you only get the White Album from start to finish. You don't get anything else. I'm very disappointed they didn't put any of the videos from during the White Album sessions that you see during the Giles Martin interview special that you see on YouTube, because I would have loved to see the Hey Jude footage of them doing Hey Jude in the studio. So that would have been nice. But instead it's just a White Album from start to finish. So. Now there's different ways you can play the White Album on the Blu-ray. There's a PCM stereo, which is basically the high-res files, 2496 at 24-bit, 96 kilohertz, and then 5:1 audio DTS HD, and then Dolby True HD 5:1 audio, and then you get the original 1968 mono mix on the Blu-ray here. I have played a lot of the 5:1. I had it set to DTS HD Master Audio 5:1, and I only played most of the album. I haven't went through all of it, but some of my favorites are the Back in the USSR 5:1 mix. It's really good. The Continuing Story of Bungalow Bill 1 is a really good one, and I love hearing. One of the things that I love about the 5:1 mix is that when John says "all the children sing" before it gets to the chorus, you hear John saying it in the back 2 speakers, but John's main vocal is in the front. Now that part I really enjoyed hearing. You hear John's lead vocal there, and then when John says "all the children sing" in the back 2 speakers, I thought that was great. That was a good 5:1 mix-up. The songs that I've heard so far in 5:1, there's some that do sound okay. Julia, there wasn't much. there wasn't much separation, 501 separation with Julia. And I played a little bit of Revolution 9, and it does the sound that the tape loops do circle around all around the speakers in the living room. Just, you know, they go back and forth on the stereo mix. So you know, I didn't play all Revolution 9, but I played some of it, and then you know, the Helter Skelter 5-to-1 mix was okay. But you know, if I ever play the whole Blu-ray disc, which I will in the future, I'm actually gonna make a copy of the Blu-ray from this, so I don't have to dig this set out a lot, because I don't want to do any harm to this, because this set is my baby. I'm very happy to have this in my collection. But when the Blu-ray when the copy of the Blu-ray disc is ready, you know, I'm gonna listen to the 5-to-1 mix again, and then you know, I might talk about it in the live chat in the future or something. So, all right, that's all I'm gonna discuss for this video about the 50th anniversary reissue of the White Album. Here it is once again. Hope you enjoyed my own 2 cents of this exciting new reissue of the White Album. Like I said in my previous video, if you love the White Album and you love the Beatles in general, check this out. I recommend it. So, thank you very much for watching, and talk to you all later.